Hello and welcome everyone to podcast episode number 24 of Christine's Blessing. I am.com. And today, I want to share with you, some of you know, in addition to being a performance coach, I'm also a professional transporter of people. So I drive Lyft. I'm actually getting ready to, when I finish this podcast, go out driving. And I thought I'd share with you all tonight one of my most favoriteest Lyft stories, and it's actually one of the reasons why I still drive Lyft now, even though there are other ways I can be making money. So, one of the very first days I went out driving, and I mean like early on, I didn't even know how to turn off my beaker so that I could go home so they wouldn't send me another ride. This is how green I was as a Lyft driver. And I picked up this woman, and here's what I did know. I'll say this before I continue. What I did know about being a Lyft driver is I only make money when I'm driving people in my car. So if somebody's sitting in my car and I'm not moving, I'm not making any money, right? So get the person in, get them to the destination, get them out, get to the next person, right? If you're a Lyft driver, that's what you know how to do. So here I am, one of my very first days as a Lyft driver, still brand spanking new, and I picked this woman up, and it was at a motel, and I pull up in front, and she's okay. Hang on a minute, I'll be right out. Okay, no worries. I'm sitting there, and I see the timer counting down, and I'm so green at this. I read all the rules, and Lyft said, don't get out of your car. Just, if they have something they need to put in your trunk, just pop your trunk and let them, right? Because it's COVID, right? I'm a post-COVID-19 Lyft driver. So everything I know is in the world of COVID-19 precautions and procedures. So don't get out of your car, pop your trunk, let them put their stuff in, blah, blah, blah. So this lady, I pop my trunk. I see she's coming out with some stuff. And she keeps coming out with stuff. And after a while, I realized, Christine, if you don't get back there, she may pack it up in a way that you don't have the space to get all of her stuff in. Not everyone is an efficient packer. And we're going to be sitting here forever. So I did get out and I did begin helping her pack up. And once we were all done, I figured, okay, we're moving motel rooms or something like that. No, she was moving motel rooms, but not in the way that I thought. And so this woman was in this motel because she had left her friend's house where she was staying. And she was staying at her friend's house because she was getting out of an abusive relationship and had gone to her friend's house, right, to get her life, back together, right, like that. Things went sour between her and her friend. And so now here she is again leaving. So what I didn't realize, right, just as a woman who's not been in that kind of a situation where I've had to flee a relationship, flee my home, put all my possessions in plastic bags and get out of there, is when a woman is going to a battered woman's shelter, a protective woman's shelter, they won't actually give that person the address. What they'll do is they'll have them meet a police officer or the sheriff's department officer in the parking lot of a local business. So we pull up into this big lots parking lot, right? It's the middle of July, right? So it's hot here in Atlanta, middle of July. It's hot. This woman has all of her belongings in my car. I'm a brand new Lyft driver, really trying hard to play by the rules. So we get to this parking lot, and very soon I realize this is not actually her final destination. This is the stop in between. And the sheriff's department wasn't there yet when we arrived. So here I am. I've got this woman in my car with literally her entire life in the trunk, piled into the trunk of my Ford Focus, my 2014 Ford Focus. And I'm in this dilemma of technically the ride is over. Technically she needs to get out of my car. And technically she is a human being who is dealing with something, and it is the middle of July and it is hot. And I just didn't have the peace of mind to leave her in that parking lot with all of her life in a buggy while she waited however long for the police to show up. Now, there were probably about 3 people that I ended up having to decline the ride request while I sat there because I couldn't figure out how to get offline. I just couldn't figure it out. Finally, I figured it out. So we sat there probably for a good 45 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes, while we waited for the sheriff's department to pull up. And then, of course, they pull up in their SUV that really isn't equipped to carry a normal functioning human being. They're meant to carry prisoners. So it's not like the back seat is all that glamorous. And it's not like their trunk space or their hauling space is all that available, because it's a police car and they've got their police equipment in there. So, and then I moved and I helped the woman put her possessions from my car into the back of the police car, right? And I looked the policeman in his eyeballs. I did my 2 fingers to my eyeballs and then pointed at him. And I said, I got eyes on you now, and I'm turning her over to you. You are now responsible to make sure she gets where she needs to be. And then I went about my day. Now, in the grand scheme of things, that was probably an hour and a half, including the ride and the wait time and all of that. But, that moment stuck with me, because for me, while it was 30, 45 minutes of waiting, an hour and a half total out of my life spent, being a Lyft driver and transporting this person, for her in that moment, that was her whole world. Her whole world. Now, had I not been on the platform, would she have gotten picked up by another Lyft driver? Yes. Is there a guarantee that Lyft driver would have done what I did and stayed and waited with her to make sure she wasn't out in the heat with all of her stuff in a shopping cart? I have no idea. What I do know, though, is the universe gave her to me. And all there was for me to do was to take care of her. And that, my friends, is why I am still a Lyft driver.